Recently, India's Prime Minister visited three countries: Jordan, Ethiopia, and Oman. In this video, we'll focus on the strategic importance of Ethiopia. We'll discuss Jordan and Oman in a separate video. Ethiopia is an important country in Africa. It is a member of BRICS. As we know, earlier BRICS had 5 members: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. However, recently 5 new members have been added to BRICS: Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, the United Arab Emirates, and Indonesia. So now BRICS has 10 members and has become BRICS Plus. Ethiopia is also a member of BRICS and an important voice of the Global South. The headquarters of African Union is located in Ethiopia. This makes Ethiopia the diplomatic heart of Africa. Ethiopia has a population of around 110 million. It is one of the fastest growing economies in Africa. It has a strong manufacturing base and a large domestic market. Because of its strategic location in the Horn of Africa, Ethiopia's importance increases even more. As we know, this region witnesses intense competition among global powers. In a region filled with conflict and instability, Ethiopia is seen as a regional anchor of stability. This was the first bilateral visit of India's Prime Minister to this African country. This visit was strategically very important. The relationship between India and Ethiopia is not new. Their ties are quite old. Around 2000 years ago, during the time of the Aksumite Empire, trade existed between India and Ethiopia. What we see today as modern-day Ethiopia and Eritrea came under the Aksumite Empire in the 1st century CE. The Addis port, which is located in present-day Eritrea, was the primary port of the Aksumite kingdom at that time. Trade between India and the Aksumite kingdom took place through this port. Just imagine, when modern Europe did not even exist, trade between India and Ethiopia already existed. In the 16th century, when Ethiopia was facing the threat of invasion, the Ethiopian king sought help from Portugal. At that time, to fight the invaders, Portuguese forces launched an expedition from Goa. Indian soldiers were also part of this expedition. Later, during World War II, Italy occupied Ethiopia. At that time, British forces helped liberate Ethiopia. As we know, a large number of Indian soldiers were part of those forces. In this way, India and Ethiopia also share a history of struggle. When we talk about modern diplomacy, formal diplomatic relations between India and Ethiopia were established in 1950. Since then, ties between India and Ethiopia have continuously grown. The partnership between the two countries has strengthened in sectors such as trade, investment, education, and defense. It has become a multifaceted partnership. Consistent political engagement is seen between the two countries. The prime ministers of both countries have regularly met on platforms such as the G20 and BRICS. Ministerial dialogues between the two countries continue regularly. Institutional mechanisms remain active. Overall, continuity has been maintained in India-Ethiopia engagement. In the financial year 2024-25, trade between India and Ethiopia was approximately $550 million. In this trade, India exports more to Ethiopia and imports less from it. In the financial year 2024-25, India exported goods worth around $475 million to Ethiopia, while imported goods worth around $75 million from Ethiopia. So India enjoys a trade surplus with Ethiopia. Indian companies are among the top 3 foreign investors in Ethiopia. India has invested more than $5 billion in Ethiopia. It is a trusted partner of Ethiopia. Indian companies have created more than 75,000 local jobs in Ethiopia. The Indian community in Ethiopia is highly respected. It acts as a powerful bridge between the two countries. Many students from Ethiopia come to India for education. India is expanding its education partnership with Ethiopia. Through digital learning, vocational training, and scholarships, India and Ethiopia are strengthening their education partnership. Considering India's importance, during this visit, Ethiopia conferred its highest civilian honor, the Great Honor Nishan of Ethiopia, on Prime Minister Modi. Prime Minister Modi received it on behalf of the people of India. During this visit by the Indian Prime Minister, India and Ethiopia elevated their ties to a strategic partnership. 8 agreements were signed. These included cooperation on a data center in Ethiopia's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, debt restructuring under the G20 Common Framework, customs administration, and UN peacekeeping. The shared identity of Global South partners is bringing the two countries closer. You may recall how during India's 2023 presidency, the African Union became a permanent member of the G20. This was an important step in giving the Global South a voice on a platform like the G20. Ethiopia is the diplomatic nerve center of Africa. The headquarters of the African Union are located in Ethiopia. This significantly increases Ethiopia's importance. Engagement with such an important country is a strong example of South-South cooperation. India and Ethiopia are committed to reforms in the United Nations. They want to work together in areas such as climate change, renewable energy, and disaster risk reduction. When it comes to security and defense cooperation, Ethiopia was one of the first countries to receive military assistance from India. In 1956, India helped set up a military academy in Ethiopia's historic city of Harar. Since 2009, India's defense forces have been training Ethiopian forces. Ethiopia has faced internal conflicts for many years. It needs modern equipment and training. In such a situation, India's defense platforms can help Ethiopia. They are cost-effective, battle-tested, and reliable. They proved their usefulness during Operation Sindoor. So Ethiopia can seek India's help to meet its defense needs. It can deepen its military collaboration with India. If this happens, India's defense exports will get a boost. Apart from defense, there is also significant scope for cooperation between the two countries in the mining sector. Ethiopia is a resource-rich country. It has vast and unexplored reserves of gold, critical minerals, and rare earth elements. If both countries address regulatory and logistical challenges, Ethiopia's resources will offer tremendous opportunities. They will boost renewable energy and semiconductor technology. Now that Ethiopia has become a member of BRICS, this was an excellent time for India to redefine its partnership with Ethiopia. Indian companies are eager to collaborate with Ethiopian companies in sectors such as pharmaceuticals, agro-processing, manufacturing, and mining. In the coming time, we may see agreements such as the Double Taxation Avoidance Agreement and the Bilateral Investment Treaty being updated. This will increase the accessibility of African markets for Indian companies. India has made it clear that the Global South is rising, but this rise is not against anyone. It is for everyone. India promotes a world order where development is fair, where technology is accessible, where the sovereignty of countries is respected, where peace is defended and prosperity is shared, where equal partnerships are emphasized. As African countries move forward and Global South nations assert themselves, such a world order will gradually take shape. Multipolarity will increase. A fair and equitable world order will emerge. By strengthening its partnership with Ethiopia, India will gain significant economic benefits. Investments of more than $5 billion are already in place. More than 600 Indian companies operating in Ethiopia will benefit. Opportunities will emerge in new sectors. India will be able to tap Ethiopia's resources. India will gain access to the Ethiopian market. India's exports will increase. Through its partnership with Ethiopia, India will also gain diplomatic benefits. Ethiopia is a diplomatic hub in Africa. This will enhance India's engagement with the African continent. It will amplify India's voice in the Global South. It will be beneficial for multilateral reforms. India will also gain soft power benefits. Through education partnerships, capacity building programs, scholarships, and training with Ethiopia, India will be able to create long-term goodwill in the country. People-to-people ties will strengthen. This aligns with India's Africa policy. It will promote the mutual growth of India and Africa. It will establish India as a reliable development partner for Africa.